All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SOSO podcast with
For the month
Bluest.
of February.
Catching up with Bluist. Another super busy month here for Blue. Another busy month for me. It's just been
Busy for everyone.
it's a mishmash, man. It's a fucking every time. It's always just a mishmash of stuff that happens. But would you say it was a good month?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really busy with nonsense. Since I'm kind of on there full time, designing stuff, and we have a lot of projects that I can't talk about, but we do have a lot of things that we're working on too. So it's been kind of hard actually trying to manage everything and organize everything. So hopefully, as time goes by, I'll get better at it. But I mean, because of that, I'm can't attend streams as much as before. Which is like, there's good and bad because I mean, now that it's not my main source of income, even though it was for the past 5 years, I can kind of view stream or keep streaming as more of a hobby. Necessarily something that, because I mean, honestly, I did used to kind of depend on stream as, of course, as an income. So I would really worry over how much we would make that month and whatnot. Or just like the performance of streaming used to affect me a lot mentally. But now that I'm seeing it more as a hobby, I think I have a better relationship with streaming. And it's more of, like I said, I can view it as a hobby. It's more of a passion project. I can work on it on my off time. But of course, the cons of that is I'm kind of like Gray and I kind of switch places where now I can only attend streams on, the times I can make it. Just like how Gray couldn't make it to all the streams before when he was working. And now, so now you guys have a lot of Gray streams when before we used to have Blue
I
streams.
apologize for that.
So
For the people that have to endure that. I feel like
it's almost like we just like swap places. So I think it's actually kind of a unique, cool opportunity because for 5 years, people really got to know me pretty well through solo streams. And now it's time to get to know you.
So like that's a really good point. And I was gonna bring I didn't really mention it in just normal day to day. Because I wanted to talk about it here. But what do you think there's any difference like in the space, right? In the space, having a girl, right? In a space where it's, statistically heterosexual males is like 90% of the platform, right? And then I feel like when it comes to performance, right? And it doesn't really I honestly was thinking about this a lot. And this is how I justified your solo streams. Was that it works better that there's a girl on stream. And I'm not saying that like I think you know what I mean by that. I'm not saying like girls have it easy so it's better whatever, but like having a dude right being on stream alone is gonna always felt like would no matter how much I try to become somebody likable or somebody that's there's a certain limit to size, right? And that we're at, like if we were bringing in like 500 people 500 people on on the go, I feel like it would matter a little less. But at our level, and I'm trying to pick my words here, is like, do you feel that if I'm on by myself as a male, that it would tank in a lack of a better term, tank the channel?
No. And here's my reasoning is first off, like if you look at stats and everything, the biggest streamers on Twitch are male. I mean, women are getting up there too, but it's mostly men. And I think one, it's not, of course, like they're big.
Sorry, excuse me if I make rude noises, by the way, because I have a canker sore and I'm gonna be like going like or something like that when it hurts. So just
put the cream on
for the people that are listening to this in audio. I
put the
apologize.
cream on. But Yeah, I mean, like I said, the biggest biggest streamers on Twitch are male, and I think it's for a good. I mean, not good reason, but I meant like it's for because I mean, it's a common thing because games have been so like I think associated with men for so long. I think it's like I think like a lot of people naturally think men have more credibility in the gaming scene, which I think that's also part of it. And of course, we could talk about looks and stuff, but all that aside, I think how people view women on Twitch, I think is different than how people view men on Twitch. Like for example, and of course, I'm going to try and talk about this as careful as I can because I don't mean like women are less or women don't deserve to be up there. Like that's not. Please don't take any of this in a negative way. It's just this is just what I've seen so far is that people who view women, female streamers, they tend to see that woman as more of like someone maybe they look up to, or someone that not like maybe like an idol, someone that they idolize, or someone that they want to like like support.
Idol as in like the Japanese way of idol?
Like idols, yeah. Like idols as in
role model.
No,
like,
as in like idols as in like the Japanese idols where it's like you want to like
they're fans.
Yeah, you're a fan. You're a fan of that girl. Is kind of, and of course, I mean, if I think it might be different if your demographic is all women as well, then I think it's different. But I'm talking about in a scene where the fan base, as in viewers, are mostly male. And so most likely, if you're a female streamer, you're going to have a predominantly male audience. And in that case, I feel like a lot of the male audiences see that woman or that girl as more of like an idol, like, yeah, the Japanese idol kind of figure where they want to support them, they look up to them, or they think they're hot, or they think they're cute, or they just like their personality, or they like, of course, like there's all of those reasons. But I think it's more like it's like an anime character. Like a girl is like an anime character. Like it's something that you are not. It's not like a friendship. It's not equal footing, if that makes sense. Like you're a little distant because that girl that you're trying to support is more like this. Like I said, idol I think is the perfect word. It's like you want to support them. You want to, you like what they're doing. You just want to be a good fan, or you want to be a good friend, or whatever it is, and you want to support them on their journey.
Yeah.
But men, on the other hand, male streamers, I feel like are not that. Like men who watch men are not watching them saying, "Oh, I want to support your journey. I want you to be the biggest star," or like, "I'm your biggest fan." Like, I think it's different. It's more like, "Hey, can this guy teach me something? Can this guy be my friend? Can this guy be my entertainment? Like a TV personality where can I laugh when I'm here?" Like, I think men have a very specific criteria just because the people watching men are men. So they can compare themselves to whoever's streaming. So their expectations are different than them watching a girl, I think. And so in this case, I think with whether it tanks or not, I don't think that's something. I think you're gonna have a different relationship with everyone, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
My relationship with everyone is going to be completely different than your relationship with someone or people. I feel like you're going to be a lot closer to everyone than I will ever be. Just because, especially with, this day in society, a lot of opposite sex friendships are also kind of difficult as well on internet. And people are scared of overstepping boundaries and all that stuff. So I think there's like a natural wall that you have with, I think, girl streamers, or at least that's what I feel. So, like, and I'm not saying this about our community. I'm just saying this as a whole. So I don't want anyone listening to this to take this as like, oh, Blue thinks I'm just this. Like, that's not what I think at all.
Yeah, I'm giving you a hard question, and like
Because I mean, our
yeah.
community is different, and I'll explain that after. But like, what I'm trying to say is that girl streamers have fans. Guy streamers have a community.
A different type of community, because fans are still
It's still a community, but it's more like, how would you explain it?
I think
It's hard. It's hard to explain. Like,
I think
yeah.
I understand what you're saying, where it's like a fandom is a little bit different. It has a lot more distance than a online community for, it's like an online community versus a fandom. It's
I mean,
like,
the easiest way to explain it is a girl is an idol, like music idol. Guys tend to be like an indie band.
yeah,
You can go up to them and talk to them.
go hang out after the show.
Yeah, you can go grab a drink with them afterwards. But with a girl streamer, I think that's a lot more. That's much difficult. Like, it's more difficult because then you don't want to come off as a creep, or you don't want to come off weird, or there's, like I said, there's that wall. So I think it's a really different relationship that you have with female streamers versus male streamers.
That's fair, and I think that's obviously it's an anecdotal observation that we've made personally and what we've seen. So it could be different for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not trying to generalize anything. And I did throw a hard ball there just because it's something that I think about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I honestly think you'll do better.
See, that's the thing is that. So you mentioned that and everybody knows this, right? That there's there's that ceiling that people always talk about where like girls, but the thing is girls get, from what I've seen, to a level of what's beyond where we are right now, the start boost, the number of male streamers that are just starting off, right? And I'm not talking about the top 5% of streamers and who dominates that. Just the sheer number of male streamers that are struggling to grow at that very beginning level, right? Is pretty. Once that snowball starts coming in and it starts rolling in, yeah, maybe the dudes are like up there. But I think at a small community level, I think it's harder for males to get that because
you know why? Because girls are prettier.
And
they're nicer to look at. Like I would, when I watch streams, I look for girls more than guys. Like that's just how it is, because girls are prettier to look at. Like, and I don't know. Like it's, of course, that's coming from like, that's just erasing everything else. And if I'm just talking about it like in the most shallow way possible, then girls are prettier to watch.
100%.
Like, so of course, like I feel like when you're looking at a thumbnail, and especially like this is also a generalization, so don't like, there's exceptions, but girls tend to make their streams look a lot prettier. Like they care about camera and like layouts and stuff more is what I've seen.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, that's generalization. There's definitely like guys out there who care about their streams and how they look too, but it just seems like girls' streams tend to be a lot prettier.
Right. Aesthetically, you mean? Like...
Yeah, aesthetically. And at least a lot of them are, of course, the ones I like to watch tend to play it in a way that, of course, I like. And there's that too, where it's like, I don't know. I tend to be more comfortable watching girl streamers, or they tend to do things that I like. Yeah. So there is that too. So there is that bias.
Oh no, for sure. I think that's very normal.
I mean, we've had people as a joke, but I think there's some truth to it, saying they came in for me, but they stayed for you, which I think that's mostly a joke. But I think, like I said, there is some truth to it. So I think in this sense, when I did solo streams, sure, I could bring people in.
People that wouldn't come to the dual streams.
Yeah. That wouldn't come to the dual streams. But the thing is, another not problem, but another like wall that I have to go through on Bluest is the fact that when people come in for me on solo streams, a lot of them unfortunately don't come back because of you. Because I'm not single.
Right. No,
right?
yeah, I see that. Yeah, yeah, that's
But
happened many times.
exactly, but we don't have that if it's your solo streams.
Right.
Because guys who come in, mostly, I mean, there might be some people who will find you attractive, but mostly will come in not expecting you to be single. Like they don't care if you're single or not.
Right, right. That's not a thing that
Yeah,
they.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think it might be hard. Like it might not get a lot of people to come in,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll definitely keep the ones who do come in, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I think that's
And
kind
mine's
of.
more fleeting, I think. And then of course there's a lot of cool people in our community that have stayed. They came for me, but then they discovered you and it's like, oh wait, no, I like gray, and they stayed, which is really cool.
And
but-
other way around too.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, oh, I came in because it was a gray solo stream maybe, and then what? You have a partner, and it's. I think we have a very peculiar. People that stream the way that we do
Mhm.
have a really peculiar dynamic when it comes to creating a community, because there is exactly what you're talking about, where it's like there's the oh, are they single aspect, you know, like of a little bit of that almost like dating aspect of it,
Mhm.
of this whole like parasocial whatever thing, but and who's the most aware of that is us. Like
Mhm.
we are probably it just that's just how it is. We're just more aware of it, right? Because it happens to us. And when you were doing solo streams, great topic by the way. This is I really want to talk about this. Is
Yeah, pat yourself on the back for asking this question. Yeah. Good
I
job.
know I'm a
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
See, this is probably why people don't stay for my stream. But no, because I'm thinking about things that I wasn't even thinking about from listening to what you're saying. Because you brought some really good points out.
Sure.
It
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
is it is now I lost my train of thought, but point is I think with people that come in, and it's also really hard to word it, because if you don't say the right things, it devalues. There's a risk of devaluing the people that are supporting, and that's not what I'm doing. Is that it worries me that yeah, I'm doing it for fun. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it for fun. It's great. I love doing the solo streams, but I'm more aware than anybody on the planet about my streams and the performance of it when I'm alone versus when I'm with you. And then the
Yeah, because for 5 years I did solo streams, not you.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Okay, like this might sound really conceited, but why do you think your solo streams are gonna do as well as mine?
Because
When I've been doing it for 5 years.
I'm not comparing it to you. I'm just saying that plus.
I know. What are you comparing it to if not for mine?
No, just in general. Just in general of like streaming in general. And it's just, I think, because I've done imp streams.
No, but you can't compare. You can only compare it to
done-
either our dual streams or my stream. That's it. You shouldn't compare it to other people because we've already
Yeah.
discovered in these 5 years that our dynamic is completely different.
It is.
You
yeah.
can't compare it to other people. We have such different
And
community.
I'm not saying that I don't want to do them because I
Mm.
feel like they're going to perform less. I'm just wondering that there's going to be a point where there's a little bit of me that's, you have a job now and you're on your way to stability,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I will be doing streaming because I want to stream,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to, okay, well, the numbers, not just the numbers, but just like interaction and stuff goes down too, and there's just this steady decline. There's always that fear of that steady decline, and it's never been more apparent than, because you did it for 5 years. I think there's a level of confidence that you have that I just want to stream, and I just want to keep doing this because it's fun. There's a limit to that where it's like I have to see reality.
I mean, can I be completely honest with you?
Mm-hmm.
I have no confidence in my solo streams. I never did. I think you remember that. Like I would talk about it a lot. How I
Yeah.
have no confidence in my solo streams. But you know why I did it? Because that's my job.
But it's, yeah.
So of course I don't mean it as like I didn't want to
Yeah.
do it. So I'm going to reiterate. I'm going
I'm
to
gonna dive
reword
into
it,
them.
but like I wanted to do them, of course. I'm not going to force myself to do something I don't want to do. But what I meant is I also have the obligation to do solo streams because that's what's expected of me. And that's what we, as in Gray and I, decided to do. Like that's something we discussed. That's something I discussed. And I was like, okay, I want to do solo streams. And so I'm not saying I didn't want to do them. But what I meant is I had zero confidence in it. But what I had was this, I guess, I couldn't back out of it, if that makes any sense. Like I already have, I'm trying to form it better. But what I mean is I didn't have a door behind me. I chose to go through that door. I chose because if that door is okay, I'm going to do solo streams, I stepped past it, right? And I basically locked it because I didn't have any other option, I suppose. Of course, I had the option of not streaming, but I meant as in that's something I promised myself that I would do and I would continue to do. So as long as I didn't hate it or I didn't want to do it or something, then I would keep streaming. So sure, I had no confidence, but I also had the backup, I guess, or this push that kept pushing me in the back of, well, this is your job. So this is what's expected of you. This is what you told yourself that you're going to do. So you're going to do it, even if you have no confidence in it. So I did have that as kind of like a barrier behind me. So I couldn't just like get out of it or like I could just run away. Because if I didn't, then I would have probably just like ran away from that situation because I'm not good at facing things I'm not good at. And streaming is something I'm not confident in and I don't think I'm good at. So that's what I meant by I did it because it's my job. As in it's something I promised myself and it's something that was expected of me and it's something that I felt I needed to do no matter my confidence levels.
Yeah.
So my point is,
Yeah.
of course, I had all those thoughts every time I did that's why I think I was more nervous pressing start streaming when I was by myself than when I was with you for those 5 years.
For sure.
On Monday mornings, Friday mornings, pressing that start stream button was the most, like, it took a lot to just press that button, right? Mentally. So I think it's okay to not have confidence, but now it's your turn to think of it how I did, where
Well, I don't
of
think
course
I don't
you
think
don't.
it's like you have to like I have to go through the shit that you went through or
Oh
anything
no
like
no no no
that.
no no!
Like
I meant like
I
as
think
in
it's because I have no problem hitting the live button.
no yeah no I meant like
I
as
have
in even if you don't have the confidence,
yeah.
it's something that people look forward to, and it's something that you've decided to do yourself, and
Yeah, because
so yeah.
I don't think streaming like it's a job or like I don't think of it as like that's not what I didn't mean like the performance of that or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm meaning I'm talking more of there's a community that we have created and nurtured, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we're taking good care of it, and it's because it exists.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain dynamic to it, and the dynamic is blue and gray.
Mm-hmm.
Is blue and gray is there, and it works. It works as blue standing alone. It still works. That still works. And I'm not talking about numbers, but just like it's there's no real thing there, but it works as blue standing alone versus gray standing alone.
Yeah, because I did solo for 5 years, and that's I think
And
the
it's
only
also the
reason.
character that you are. It's not the character that you make or anything, but the person that you are. It doesn't just come from what you've been doing, but it's also the person that you are. The person the persona of blue. I mean, it's who you are in real life. You might not understand that, but there is a personality trait in you that that is that can stand alone. And you might deny that, and you might think like, "Oh, I don't have that," but you do. And that's something that's one of the one of the strengths that you have, of the many
Okay.
strengths. And people see that too when they see the dynamic of blue and gray. They see that she can stand alone. Gray needs somebody else. Gray needs something else. And I feel that too. Like I shine the most when I'm with somebody else rather than when I'm alone. Right. And of course that's just something that maybe it's just like I'm telling myself, but I feel that. I do feel that when I'm riffing off somebody, when I'm even when it's not you, when it's somebody else, when I'm riffing off them, it's always like I feel like I shine in comparison to that person when it becomes there's like a contrast. Is that's just the type of content creator, I guess the creator mindset I am. And it's that's just like that's how I analyze myself being with you. And we just came off from doing a stream and you weren't on stream yesterday. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt that a lot. That chemistry. I thrive on that chemistry. And I can build on that chemistry. And it's just something because we've been doing it together.
But the thing that's different though
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that you have the capability of building that chemistry with yourself as well. Not to the certain extent as like somebody else being there, but the thing is you can make like you talk to yourself a lot. Like not in a make it sound like you're crazy, but I mean like you can banter with yourself almost.
Right.
Like you can banter with yourself in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're talking to yourself in a like you're talking to the
Yeah.
character in a game.
Yeah.
Like you're already bantering with somebody else.
Yeah. But
If that makes sense. Like
I guess in that sense, I can talk to myself forever and I
Mm.
can have fun, but
I mean, I know what you mean that
there's a limit where
yeah.
it's like, is it just
Mm.
like, what's the point of this? There's a point where like I hit like it. I try to snap out of it, and I successfully do just because I've been doing this for 5 years. But there's moments of emptiness where I go, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, what? It's not creating anything. It's not entertaining. It's not. It's just, and I'm not letting you talk. I'm not letting, but I'm filling a lot of gaps because you don't talk already. And in my mind, I'm filling. But it also is matched with like this natural thing where I like to talk and I like to, I think I like, I like the idea because I do this too. Is like you don't have to always watch a stream,
Mm.
like dead on and chat, right? Like you can have us in the. I like it when because I do this too. You have some, you're doing something and you have the stream in the background,
Mm.
almost like a podcast, right? I always have that in my head. So if you don't talk, then you're just like, what's the point? Like,
Right.
I need to be
Mm.
constantly. It's that mindset plus my normal personality of just being talkative
Mm-hmm.
that I have, and so it when there's moments of silence or you're not talking or you're not paying attention, it's I have to feel like okay, I need to say something. Like I need to go in on it. And sometimes you'll comment on that when it's like obviously a filler comment and I have nothing to react to because I'm just filling shit in
Mm.
and stuff like that. And that's when I feel difficulty in chemistry. Where it's like, no, you don't have to talk about that. Like cuz I'm just here to fill in the gap cuz you're looking at your phone. You're not saying anything. You haven't said anything in like the last 15 seconds. Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like but that's not like to me there's a limit to that. I can't the limit as in like how much of it is filler and how much of it is actually content in that sense. And that makes it really cheap and there's a lot more to that, but it when I'm by myself, I hit those moments a lot more. Where I'm like, is this like what is there any point to any of this? Like it's like this moment of emptiness that I have. And I think like a lot of like solo streamers have like they face that too. And
Yeah.
I face it when we stream it together. When we stream together. I don't rely on you.
Mm.
And you don't rely on me. Like we always have to be at our best and then they can find when we're at our best and doing our best individually, that's the starting point to finally be like, oh, this is the blue and gray dynamic.
Mm.
And then it goes. But like, if we're not giving a shit and just trying and turning the camera on and not doing anything and just staring into the camera and be like, hey, what's up? Hey. Which it probably seems like that a lot, like especially when I turn the stream on and I just woke up. Like I'm on. Like even in those moments, like I'm ready to go kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I've been streaming by myself, and then that all of that on top of that thing that we talked about at the very beginning, where it's like, well, I'm kind of responsible, at least to this Friday, or whatever. Like I'm responsible today, and it's just I don't know like if I'm performing well. It's like is it's like it's an idea that I know that I don't need to have. I know it. I know it in my head. I know it in my head that it's not something that I need to have, but I can't feel that. Like I know it logically in my head that I don't have to feel that way. I'm doing fine. It's okay. Like just do what you want. Like I love streaming, right? I know that. That's just what it is. If I really didn't want to stream, I have the choice to just be like I'm taking the day off.
Mm.
But I don't because I want to stream. We talked about it last stream.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I can't feel that while I'm streaming. So I come off stream and I'm just like empty. I feel like, was that okay? Like was that it didn't, and then I didn't perform that well. The stream didn't perform that well. I don't know if like there's just this moment of emptiness that happens, and that's just what I'm gonna have to face, and it's like a new level, and it sounds really negative and whatnot, but like it is a fear that I have. Honestly, like
Well, I mean, it's a responsibility, right? Because now all of it's on you
yeah.
for a solo stream.
So I think a lot. I think a lot about now that this is probably the direction that we're gonna go into. That I have to really, I'm gonna try and kind of structure my not structure streams, but um, kind of make it more my style. Kind of mold it into more of what I would do if I was a solo streamer type mindset instead of filling in the gaps for when we do duo streams.
Yeah, I think that's a better idea too.
And I mean that's not easy. It's a
Yeah, of
lot
course
easier
not, no.
than it's a lot. It's very easy to
say,
but
to execute it is a lot of planning and a lot of trial and error.
yeah,
So.
and it's not the easy shit where it's like just plan collabs or plan. It's not like the things that the textbook stuff. It's a lot more of the internal mentality of streaming, what it means to stream, what I think streaming should be, what I think on what streaming means to me. It sounds really deep, even though it's really just normal stuff. But it just, yeah, just it's negative. It's not negative, but it is a heavy, important. It's important. It's an important part because I take streaming really seriously, and I have taken streaming very seriously for
since the beginning.
Yeah, and because I really believe in it, and I do believe in Bluest a lot, and it's definitely a next it's the next stage, not like next step milestone thing, but it's a different stage that we're kind of at right now because of life things that are happening. So I wanted to talk to that. I want to talk to you about. I wanted to mention that because if we don't talk about that, it really will just die. Like like I will really just be depressed if or I would be depressed and stop streaming. And if I don't have a good head on my shoulders about all of this, it because I firmly believe that you can carry this channel from the beginning. Like this is my thought that you carry the channel. And I don't mean it as in like, oh yeah, Blues carries in the game. Like not like that, but like you have the ability to do that. And I have to get to that point where I can feel confident enough in myself where it's not, oh, Blues counterpart. but Gray can stand on his own, and it's not like a filler arc, pretty much. And you might disagree with that, but I can't change my opinion about how I've been seeing the 5 years,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Even though maybe I'm the one planning this stuff, maybe I'm the one producing these.
Yeah, you do all the backstage stuff.
And maybe like even that aside, they only worked because you're the one standing in front, and I base it all on that. I base it all on the fact that you are the face of Bluest, and I don't think anybody will go against that. You are the face of Bluest, and it should be. You should be. But now, with the next change in career and whatnot, it's not. It must change, right? It has to kind of like, and that's just the. It's a hard gear to just like all of a sudden like okay, up until December 2023 it was the same, and then 2024 January, let's go gear change. But I'll do my best to like try and do that because I like streaming, but so we can both be the face of Bluest, at least. I think I have to be the face of Bluest, if that's the road, and which is going to bring a lot of changes for the way I see things and how I do things, and it might take time. And we have really dedicated people that like listening to this podcast. Early access, most of you guys are from early access, but
Yeah.
which means you guys are Twitch subs, so thank you. But I don't want. This is a serious topic, but it's not a negative topic. It's just something that
It's something new.
we have to face it, and it's not like a easy.
It's a new road for us.
Yeah,
I think.
and it's
And we'll just have to see where it takes us.
It probably doesn't seem like we give any of this shit when we're streaming, but yeah, like it definitely is something that we constantly think about, and now I think about it even more. And I'm not gonna change the way that I stream, where it's like I love just chatting, and I'm just gonna keep doing what I want to do. But that part I can't change. I'm not gonna all of a sudden do shit that I don't want to do, or streaming in the purity of streaming, and working on what I personally think is the artistry within streaming. I'm gonna keep that and stay true to that. But
yes, I mean you can even change Mondays or Fridays or whatever it is that I'm not there into. You don't even have to follow the schedule that I followed. As in like with how you're doing things or how you're going to do things, you can even do streams that are like 2 hours, or streams that are 10 hours, or like streams that are you don't stream till the next day, or like I mean, you don't have to follow the strict schedule that I did, because I was pretty like very strict this time to this time, and I mean actually not really. I mean there were some that were longer and some shorter, but I meant like you can even go more drastic than I did. Yeah, and things too. So it's like.
I think that's also interesting is that we never like we used to be like, okay, we need to stream this long.
Yeah.
But now it's like I really don't give a shit. Like if a game goes for 3 hours and we're done, we're done. Like it's not because I have no I don't want to set a time, whether it be a time limit or like a expected duration of time to stream. I think that people can do that and still stay interesting, but I think for us personally, that would lead to our content becoming dull and boring, and for us, that's just not how our brains work. If something's interesting, we're not gonna like force it to be longer or anything like that. If we have the perfect moment, there's like these moments when you're streaming and you feel the peak. Or sometimes you feel like the peak is over, but you want to keep going. Just keep going. Like, and then it's like a 10-hour stream. And it's like, I think that's what I really like about Blluist is that for us personally, it's like we have a general idea, but like we never really force ourselves to keep that because that shouldn't dictate if a stream is good or not. The length of a stream shouldn't dictate how good a stream is.
I mean, it's also not a 9 to 5, so it's not like we're clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think we're not obligated to. We don't have an org or anything that tells us you need to stream this many hours this
Mhm.
month and this is your salary or anything like that. So I feel like, yeah, and, and I think that's not gonna change, you know, or else I wouldn't have done the hiccup stream where it's like 15 minutes. I
Yeah.
think, I
Right.
yeah, because I think now more than ever, streaming is part of my life. Um, it always was schedule wise, but now I feel a lot closer to the active streaming. I don't mean like close to the viewers or anything like that. I feel close to the viewers, but I feel close to the active streaming, if that makes sense. The culture of streaming, um, on my own, and I think that's really important. You know, I've said it a million times, but I wish there was no schedule because that would probably mean that I would stream more. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anu agrees.
Yeah.
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 And then we can start Anu's streaming career. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I don't know if some of those topics might have come off wrong, but what the hell?
I don't know why he's talking so much.
But yeah,
But yeah.
anything you want to add to that? Anu, do you want to add something to that? Seems like it. Okay.
But I mean, no, I think I had my piece. I said my piece.
Very good.
So.
Yeah, it's it's really cool because I want to. I want to. I support you 100% on this new thing. So whenever you're like, oh, I have to go to a meeting, even if it's like the day of streaming, I'll be like, are you streaming today? And then you'll be like, oh no, and like okay,
Mm.
just let me know if you want to use this room like to
Yeah.
do your calls and whatnot. And I think it's really important that it's really weird because, and I think I can say this, but I don't know how long this your job is going to last. Hopefully for a very long time, but it's fucking weird because we started streaming because you lost your last hope at the time of
A
being
fashion job.
being in the fashion industry. You got out of it in probably what could be argued as the worst way ever, traumatic way ever. And we started streaming to get your mind off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you're back in it, but in the best possible way ever. And that also makes me think like even if we don't get like, of course we stream to become bigger, and we already have this great community, and but we always, this is very normal, I think, to want to keep getting bigger and, you know, reach higher. Even if that doesn't happen, what you've gotten already gives complete meaning to streaming for 5 years, because you wouldn't have gotten this job specifically if you didn't stream.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking wild how that like kind of like it collides, and it's just weird. It like blows my mind when I think about it, and it's how the thing that you try to get out of, and you kind of gave up this whole time. I would say you gave up, right?
Yeah.
You gave it up, and then now you're back into it in a very, very special way. You skipped a ton of steps that a lot of people had to do, but it was because you had the skills, you had all of this stuff just inside of you this whole time, and nobody even gave you a chance to show it, and then you had your chance to show it, and you got it. So it's pretty fucking sick, and I 100% support that. So I think it's I talked a lot about the streaming side just because this is the SOSO, and I think the streaming side of things is also very important to talk about here, but I think it's a really cool just don't leave the stream, please.
I don't plan on it.
But yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much the big stuff.
Mhm.
We played games here and there this month, but I think more than that, I think and we had trolls and whatnot. We got ramen ghost guy coming into our streams like and all this weird shit. But more importantly, I think it's a good life update on that's what the SOSO should be. And
Mhm.
that's probably our biggest life update. And we can update you guys more. So now we can take questions from the subbies.
Subbies.
So if you are not familiar, if you're a Twitch sub, you can ask questions here on the podcast. in the Discord in the podcast questions section. So let's go ahead and take those questions. Blue, take it away.
First question is from Matt. How was the date?
Next question. What's the
Next question is from Jeremy.
It was good. We went on a date last week. Or yesterday or 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah. It was nice.
I don't know if we call that a date. Sure.
It totally was. We ate sushi.
Yeah, because it was my idea.
Still a date.
So it still needs to be a date that you think of,
It's still a date.
Next one is from Jeremy. Do you have any lyrics for Gray or book quotes for Blue that live rent free in your head? I mean, I think Gray has the whole discography of Blink-182 memorized, so there's that.
Yeah, a lot of things that I probably can't say if it's Blink lyrics.
I'm gonna probably butcher this guy's name, so give me a second.
When you say that it lives rent free, is it kind of like a negative thing? Like it just kind of like in your mind, or is it like lyrics that you think about a lot? Can it be lyrics that kind of in a positive way? I don't know.
But so Gray used to make fun of me for this, but there's a quote that I quote, or I mean, it's written by Albert Camus. Camus. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Can I say it?
But yeah, sure. Do you know it?
Yeah. It's Robert Camus. Albert Camus.
I don't know, but yeah, it could be Camus. I don't know.
I think it's if you don't like me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even make a Blink joke today.
You just said it's probably some Blink song.
No, but I'm being genuine though. You have the whole discography of Blink-182 memorized. How is that a joke?
Go ahead. Oh, don't do that shit. You definitely meant it as a joke. And now you're like, you're being a bully. Go ahead.
I know simply that the sky will last longer than I. And I used it as my email for a really long time, like parts of it. And Gray made fun of me saying like, oh my God, you're such a Tumblr girl.
Because I didn't know what it was from. And it was like.
So there's that.
Yeah, it was like something
I'm
like.
A Tumblr girl.
It was
actually, I used to be a Tumblr girl, so it's fine. Because I actually had a pretty big
sky
blog.
Go follow it on Tumblr.
Don't.
We're going to stream on Tumblr.
Next one.
Wait, I haven't answered that question yet. And it's a good question. I do have a lot of lyrics that pop into my head a lot.
I'm so surprised you didn't say my head, but yeah.
In my head.
Yeah. Okay. That's enough.
I think some of the lyrics that when I'm put on the spot like that, it definitely goes away. Even though I do have really good I have a lot of like lyrics in my head.
All right, next one.
Wait. I'm trying to remember it. It's probably it's right there. I have to sing it. This guy end up looking down your nose just to look me in the eye. When you spend all your time with your eyes to the sky, it's sky. It's both sky. Into the sky.
God.
You end up looking down your nose just to look me in the eye. And that song specifically is called Same Sex Marriage by Fireworks, band called Fireworks. And those lyrics are mainly the story of that song is mostly about someone that cannot come out of the closet because of the social implications, but also it's also saying that you have to stand on your own 2 feet or else no one's going to help you out. And I just really like how it's like this imagery of when you spend all your time with your eyes to the sky, like you're kind of like, I don't know if this is what they actually meant, but to me it was like when you're just looking to the sky and you're just kind of like spacing out with all your thoughts. When you're empty-headed and there's no thoughts, you end up looking down your nose in which is across, and then look me in the eye like that. There's your answer. And in the song context, it means like loving who you love, like whether it be, even if society tells you that you can't be gay, the answer is right there when you have an empty head. Is that is the partner. But to me, it means a lot of things. Like, well, where it's like when you have an empty head, at the end of the day, there's only one thing you can trust, and I think that can be contextualized to pretty much anything. So I really like those lyrics. I have no idea if those lyrics actually mean that, but to me, that's what it means. So yes,
Okay, next one.
there's another.
You can read the next one.
I don't know where we are on the Discord.
I mean, right where?
Oh, okay, here. Thank you so much for that question. Okay. Vaughn asks, I remember back in the day, YouTubers who had a set schedule or uploaded daily were scared to take on new things outside of it because they might had to upload less videos because time issues with his viewers. Since you both are working on other things outside of streaming now and have to cancel streams more often, is this something you're scared of? By the way, I fully support you guys taking on this new project, not TikTok. Proud of proud of Blue for working customer support at Nonsense.
I'm not working customer support. I have
Um,
nothing to do with customer support.
I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, but no, we would have. But what's happening in Blue's life is just so good that I think I wouldn't want anything to take away from that. And I just fully support it and that inner happiness. So, and for me, I'm not really doing anything except I'm probably streaming more. So, and I think the topic that we talked about at the top of the podcast is kind of the fear that I have more than anything. But at the end of the day, I don't care, and I'm gonna keep streaming the way that I want to stream. And um, it happened with like when we went to Ireland. I think we made it pretty obvious that when we had the viewer dip, it affected us, but we had nothing at that point, like really going on in our lives. And like last end of the year last year was really bad, and it was just a lot of just shit was happening, and nothing seemed like it was working out. So streaming is like it's so hard because like streaming is fine, is great, but at the same time it's not like it's paying the bills. It's not like we're living comfortably. It's not like we're popping off, and it's I know that that's just something relative, right? Someone that
Mm-hmm.
has 1,000 viewers in a week, they're gonna get used to that and they're gonna want 1,500. We know that that's just how it works. So it's all relative, but it just doesn't seem like it just didn't seem like things were working out. We're just in that negative minds mindset back then, and November, December was just like punch to the gut, like every day it felt like, and so I was a little scared of that, but it's turning around a lot now. Now that the new year's happening, not fearing that most. The you see added that TikTok part is that because I mentioned that we want to try streaming on TikTok and stuff, and it's like I think that's probably our one of the what I really like about Bluest too is that we talk shit about things and have fun, but I'm always curious. That's the big thing is that I'm always curious in new things. Even if it's content that I don't use or like a lot of the content on there is a little weird. I'm always like to think that I'm open to try new things and try new creative endeavors and just to see what it is because I don't want to talk shit about something that I don't know or if I don't haven't tried yet. I feel like I don't deserve to really give a judgment unless I try. So, yeah, give it a shot. I'm more excited than scared. And I have confidence in the fact that I have confidence in the fact that we can that I'll work hard to if we do lose a bunch like let's say we do lose a bunch of viewers that we can bring it back in some sort of way. Maybe not in numbers, but some other way to satisfy it because I think Blues is a special place, and I think we are special people, and I think the people that are hanging out in the blues community are special people, bringing in more people and stuff like that. And so I'm very confident in everything that surrounds Bluest, and that's why I don't fear it as much as I used to, and I trust it a lot more, and I depend on it a lot more. So, how about you, Blue?
Well, you kind of summed it up pretty well. I don't really have anything to add.
But you're the one that has the job. I'm the jobless loser. You're the one that has the new job.
Well, I kind of talked about it earlier. Is that it's more of a hobby for me, so I don't really have there's not that much pressure for me to worry about things anymore. So, I do want to grow, but at the same time, it's not something that's at the top of my. It's not the first thing I think about every morning anymore.
It's fair.
So that's just the reality of it all.
That's fair, this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good luck at customer support. by the
I'm
way.
not. I don't do any customer
If you need
support.
any help for translation for customer
Okay.
support, let me
All right.
know.
Next one.
Thank you for that question, man. Jaron, what roles are you going to audition for the extras on Shogun? I got the hair ready. I'm ready to go. Hit me up.
If they're actually doing auditions, it would be kind of fun to go just to try it out.
I want to be the
That'd be
guy in the
pretty
back
cool.
that's walking a dog and gets cut by the main character. Is that a scene? Probably a scene. I just want to hang out with dogs and then get killed.
I'll take anything. I think it would just be cool. I've
Mhm.
never been an extra, so why not?
Yeah, and then we can do a watch party and then get banned.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for another awesome month. Anu's over there, very content. For the people that are watching this on the tubes, thank you, Lord Anu, for watching
waiting.
over us. He's waiting for food.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode, which will be next month.
Mhm.
Actually, this month, because this is
month,
late.
'cause, yeah.
But thank you guys so much again
We'll
for
see you in a
always
bit.
hanging out. And we'll see you guys in the next SOSO podcast. Take care, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace.